हेलो एवरीवन, वेलकम टू माय यूट्यूब चैनल द सोलफुल डायरी। आज के वीडियो में हम बात करेंगे सरोजनी नायडू और उनकी पोम द पैलनक्विन बियरर्स के बारे में। पोम को डिस्कस करने से पहले चलिए पोएट के बारे में डिस्कस कर लेते हैं। Sarojini Naidu was born on 13 February 1879 at Hyderabad. She studied from University of Madras, King's College London, Girton College, Cambridge. Her parents were Aghor Nath Chattopadhyay and Barada Sundari Devi, who was a poetess in Bengali language. Famous works include The Golden Threshold 1905, The Birth of Time 1912, Mohammed Jinnah, an Ambassador of Unity 1916, The Broken Wing 1917, The Sept Red Flute 1928, The Feather of the Dawn 1961. She died on 2nd March 1949. She has been given the title of the Nightingale of India. She was the second woman president of Indian National Congress. She wrote a 1300-line poem, Lady of the Lake. The major themes of her work include natural beauty, religious pluralism, and the essence of the country's social milieu. She was a great lyricist. Her lyrics are melodious. These lyrics have unsurpassable sweetness and beauty. Due to this, Sarojini Naidu got recognition as the Bulbul-e Hind. Her poems have English words but an Indian soul. Her poetic sensibility found its best expression in the full flush of womanhood. Love, life, death, religion, patriotism, and women's freedom occupy prominent place in her poems. Sarojini Naidu's poetic style is modeled on the lines of decadent poets. Though she follows the great English poetic tradition, her style is essentially her own. It gives us the impression of individuality. Naidu's poetry is lyrical and musical. Here she uses many types of meter and rhyme. It is full of imagination. Naidu's lyrics are poetic cries of joy, sorrow, fervor, and exultation. They are imbued with emotional intensity. She was a lyricist who worked on her own inch of ivory. That's why her poems are appreciated not only in India but all over the world. She will forever be remembered as the Nightingale of India. Maharishi Arvind, Tagore, Kani, and Nehru were among the thousands of admirers of her work. At her death, Nehru said, "And now the dearest and brightest of them has gone. I feel desolate of heart and widowed in spirit." She was also known as an Indian Yeats. पहले पोम को इन डेप्थ डिस्कस करने से पहले जान लेते हैं उसके कुछ की फीचर्स. देयर इज अ custom of carrying bride in the palanquin by the palanquin bearers, and the poem The Palanquin Bearers is so finely woven around this custom, which expresses the joy and pride of the palanquin bearers in carrying the newlywed princess to her in-laws' house, and while walking they are singing along happily. According to the palanquin bearers, the bride is so light that it feels like the princess is swaying, like a flower sways in the wind. She's sitting in the palanquin and is hearing their song. They consider the royal princess as a privilege instead of a burden to them, since she's sitting and thinking about her future after marriage like a flower in the wind. The bird is moving from side to side. They say that she is like the bird that skims on the foam of a stream, which means that a bird passes a stream, skipping through the foam of the stream, and the bride resembles of that bird because she is so delicate to carry. She carries a mixed feeling as she is leaving her parents behind and moving on to a new phase of her life. She is happy and contented to live and start a new innings with her beloved. They are carrying her like a pearl on a string, since she is precious and delicate like a jewel. In the dew of their song, the princess is hanging like a star. Like a ray of light is seen on the top of a tide, she appears to be jumping just like that. A tear rolls down the eyes of a bride. In the same way, she falls. The bearers are carrying the princess as if she is a dew or a teardrop. They are delighted to carry the bride and could not feel her weight because she is very tender. It is a fair specimen of a true folk song. To quote Ramadhar Gupta in this regard, the image falling like a tear from the eyes of a bride in the poem, The Palanquin Bearers, is an achievement into itself. The bride's personality has passed a state and acquired a status from a passive role as a daughter. She has moved into the active role as a wife. The image falling like a tear from the eyes of a bride is beautiful and appealing. Stanza 1. Lightly, oh lightly, we bear her along. She sways like a flower in the wind of our song. She skims like a bird on the foam of a stream. She floats like a laugh from the lips of a dream. Gaily, oh gaily, we glide and we sing. We bear her along like a pearl on a string. The poem opens by setting the scene, letting the reader know that the palanquin bearers of the title are carrying a woman. The opening refrain, lightly oh lightly, immediately makes the poem feel like singing. The use of the word we lets the know that this poem is told from the perspective of the palanquin bearers themselves. The second line sets the tone for the rest of the poem. The line uses a simile to compare the woman in the palanquin to the something else in a favorable manner. They say that she is swaying to the sound of their song, conforming the idea that they are singing as they carry her. This feels like a happy occasion right away. They seem glad to be carrying her and glad that she is enjoying their song. The reader can easily imagine the lady nodding her head the way that a flower might nod in the breeze. The second line also uses a metaphor with the simile. The simile occurs when the lady is compared to the wind of our song. The metaphor is the wind of their song itself. The wind of their song is presented as quite gentle here. She swings in it rather than being violently blown by it. The sensation of lightness that was created with the previous similes continued in the next line, where the lady is compared to a bird that is skimming on the foam of a stream. The poem continues using images of delicate and beautiful nature to help convey the sensation of carrying the lady. Skimming on a foam could represent the way that the palanquin lightly makes its way along the road. Like a stream, they are moving quickly and easily. The next line is slightly more abstract. Rather than comparing her to a creature or a flower, she is compared to a dream. It is made clear that this is a happy dream by mentioning the laughter from the lips of a dream. The poet is giving a sense of emotion to the abstract idea of a dream. The stanza starts with a refrain and now it finishes with one as well as the singer speak of their own happiness in another case of repetition, and they give the impression of how easy it is to carry her. They glide along easily. The stanza finishes with another simile. They compare the lady to a pearl on a string. In this way, they are saying that she is beautiful and precious as well as light, and they are the string carrying her along is stanza 2. Softly, oh softly, we bear her along. She hangs like a star in the dew of our song. She springs like a beam on the brow of the tide. She falls like a tear from the eyes of a bride. Lightly, oh lightly, we glide and we sing. We bear her along like a pearl on a string. The second stanza begins with another refrain from the men carrying the palanquin. They carry the woman along softly, reinforcing the sense of gentle movement that the first stanza establishes. The similes and metaphors in this stanza are a bit more abstract than the ones at the start of the first stanza. First of all, the lady is compared to a star, something that is radiant and beautiful. Specifically, she is compared to the reflection of a star in the dew. The beauty of the star raises up the dew as it hangs on the grass. From an image of hanging, the poem moves to an image of motion. The use of the word beam can have two meanings. Firstly, it can refer to a beam of light which links to the image of the lady as being radiant as the stars. The other meaning is the beam of a ship, the widest part of a ship. The lady is borne up on the crest of a wave, traveling easily. The line creates an image of the men raising her as she is transported forward. The next line uses simile again, but also could be a more personal description regarding the woman herself. As the lady in the palanquin is a bride herself, it could suggest her mental state. The tears in this case are likely tears of joy, as this is a poem about happiness. The final two lines are all another refrain, almost identical to the refrain at the end of the first stanza, except that the word "gale" is replaced with lightly. This helps to provide emphasis to the feelings of carrying the palanquin and the joy of their song. Three devices, simile and metaphor, are used throughout the poem, often in combination with each other. Repetition, anaphora, and alliteration are also used. The simile and metaphor help to create an image of the lady in the palanquin, as well as the mood of the bearers, and the repetition, anaphora, and alliteration help to add to the sing song quality of the poem, giving it an increased sense of rhythm. Simile is used to express how light and beautiful the bride in the palanquin is. She is compared to light, a bird, and the light of a star, among other things. Metaphors are also used with the similes in some lines, such as she floats like a laugh from the lips of a dream, which is compared to a metaphor of the laugh from the lips of a dream, making an image more abstract but still easy to understand. Repetition is used in the refrains that appear at the start and end of each stanza. They help to make the poem feel like a song. Anaphora, repeating the first words of the refrains, also helps to add to the feeling. Alliteration, such as a beam of on the brow and like a laugh, also gives the poem a light and song-like feeling and keeps it moving quickly, just as the palanquin is. Themes: celebration of womanhood and marriage. At its core, the poem revels in the joyous occasion of a bride's journey to her new life. The rhythmic chant of the bearer exudes an infectious cheer, celebrating the union and hope it represents. Through metaphors like flower and pearl, the bride is depicted as both delicate and precious, emphasizing her central role in the ceremony and the care with which she is treated. The final line, where the bearers declare their burden light, reinforces the celebratory spirit, signifying the honor and privilege they find in facilitating the bride's transition. Connection to nature and tradition. The poem is deeply rooted to the natural world, drawing parallels between the bride's journey and the elements. Similes like wind of the wild song and dew kissed night connects her movement to the rhythm of nature, suggesting a harmonious flow as she embarks on a new chapter. The act of carrying the palanquin itself holds a cultural significance, representing a time honored tradition and the community's involvement in the marriage ceremony. The bearer's song, passed down through generations, serves as a thread connecting past, present, and future, contrasting emotions, joy, and uncertainty. While the poem celebrates the joy of matrimony, it also subtly hints at the bride's mixed emotions. The tear dimmed eyes hint at the bittersweetness of leaving behind a familiar life and venturing into the unknown. This undercurrent of tradi- trepidation adds depth and complexity to the poem, reminding us that the new beginnings, even joyous ones, can be laced with apprehension, social context, a glimpse into Indian culture. Palanquin bearers offer a window into Indian cultural practices, particularly the tradition of palanquin use in wedding. This detail enriches the poem's setting and provides context for the bearer's role and the significance of the bride's journey. Additionally, the poem subtly touches upon gender roles within traditional Indian society, with the focus of the bride's journey highlighting a central position in the ceremony. By deciphering these interwoven themes and meanings, we gain a deeper appreciation for the emotional richness and cultural significance of palanquin bearers. The poem becomes a poignant representation of not just a wedding procession but of the universal human experience of navigating new beginnings with both hope and trepidation. Palanquin Bearer transcends its simple setting to unveil a tapestry of emotions and cultural nuisances. It celebrates new beginnings, acknowledges bittersweet transitions, and paints a vibrant picture of tradition and motion. Naidu's masterful use of language and imagery leaves us with lingering sense of bride's journey, reminding us that even amidst joy, hope, and anticipation, a whisper of trepidation can linger. This timeless poem invites us to ponder the complexities of human experience, finding beauty and meaning in the delicate dance of beginnings and endings. थैंक यू। आई होप आज की वीडियो आपको पसंद आई। कैसी लगी हमें कमेंट करके बताएं, और हमें ये भी कमेंट करके बताएं कि आप आने वाले वीडियोस किस टॉपिक पर देखना चाहते हैं। अगर वीडियो अच्छी लगी तो लाइक शेयर एंड सब्सक्राइब टू माई चैनल। मिलते हैं कल एक और इन्फॉर्मेटिव वीडियो के साथ शाम 4 बजे।